Welcome, everyone. We're live, and it's Tuesday, and it looks like rain. It looks like rain. Well, I don't know yet. I haven't peeked outside, so I can't tell you for sure. But Neville Goddard has this book called The Power of Awareness. And let's talk about that this morning, the power of awareness. I want you to listen to it again, the power of awareness. But what is awareness? Awareness is knowing where you are in relation to your surroundings. Knowing where you are in relation to your surroundings. So, look at where the power of awareness happens. When you hear someone say, "Man, I don't know why I do that. I've been doing it for so long, I just do it." They are unaware. They're aware but unaware. They're aware that they're doing something, but they're unaware as to why. The power lies when you know why you do something. The power lies in when you know why you do something. You don't just do it and say, well, I just do it. I don't really think about it. I just do it. It is powerful when you are deliberate because it says you're watching yourself. You are watching yourself. Another example of awareness would be Neville had a thing he said as well, a phrase. You break the mirror to change your face. That is a lesson in futility. Look at the example. Breaking the mirror to change your face, which would mean you keep trying to change or force the outside to change. But in actuality, it is inward. Let me say it to you another way. To break the mirror to change your face. Imagine, if you will, you're getting dressed and you stand in front of the mirror and you turn to the left and you turn to the right and you say, "Ugh, I'm not feeling my outfit." And you kick the mirror and you break it. And you go, "Ugh, can't stand that outfit." And then you move on in front of another mirror. Same outfit. Same outfit. Every time you get mad, you kick the mirror and you break it. The mirror, this is the power of awareness. The mirror is the reflector. So to become aware of the fact that your external circumstances are the reflection of your inner atmosphere, that is powerful. Because then it means you're not running around trying to force something to happen. You're not pretending. You're not, quote unquote, faking it till you make it. Why not? Because you are aware. You know that it is I who must change my inward self so that my outward experiences can change. You are aware of that. Awareness is to know oneself. Because think about it. We do pretty much, well, everything on autopilot. We do just about everything on autopilot. And so this is why Dr. Bruce Lipton can say we only use 5% of our brain. He's talking about what we do deliberately versus what we do on autopilot. See, we are unaware of what we do on autopilot. But if you practice observing yourself, you would become more aware, pardon me, of what you're doing on autopilot. You would see your autopilot and go, oh my God, I'm doing that on autopilot. You would catch yourself. Test it. Remember I told you a little while ago, when I get out of the car, I've already locked it. I don't have a fancy boop, boop. I don't have that. I gotta push my lock. Relax yourselves. So when I get out, I already push it. And sometimes I'm like, did I lock the door? Because on autopilot, I already locked the door. It's just like quote unquote a reflex. I open the door, I put my foot out, I lock the door, I push the little button, I lock the door. But because it is autopilot, sometimes I'm like, did I lock it? So that's an example of an exercise on how to test your level of awareness. Remember what awareness is: knowing what you're doing and why you're doing it, and when you do it, and the cause of why you do it, which encompasses the knowing. Anytime you catch yourself, here's the exercise. Just like I told you, the locked door. Anytime you catch yourself saying, man, why I always do that? Why does this always happen to me? That is the light of awareness beginning to shed itself along your pathway. You see, you had the wherewithal to say, why am I doing that? Why does it always happen to me? Why does this thing always happen to me? That is you coming into the knowing of, wait a minute, I'm doing something on autopilot. Let me look at what it is that I'm doing on autopilot. And you start to see what you are doing on autopilot. And when you see what that automatic or autopilot thing is, you say, oh, why? Why do I do that? And then you will examine the mood that causes you to behave in such a fashion. So awareness is the knowing. We're going to expand on it again. It is the knowing and the understanding or comprehension as to why you do it. Why do I do that? Why do I keep letting people treat me like this? See, because you ask that question, it is the beginning. The moment you ask that question, you are coming into the awareness of something that was, quote unquote, hidden but in plain sight. It is hidden in plain sight because you always do it on autopilot, so much so that you don't see it anymore. So when you come across it and you examine it and you say, oh, snap, that's why I do that. I do that because I feel insecure about myself. Holy cow. Wow. And then you look at all the other instances in your life that you behaved in the same fashion. And now, the beautiful thing, the powerful thing about good morning, the powerful thing about knowing that thing right there is that once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the powerful part, because now you're no longer prisoner to that hidden autopilot. Now you are aware. Awareness. To be aware is to know and to understand why you act the way you do. That's the power of it. The power of awareness. The power of awareness. It is something that, the best way I can sum it up for you is, once you see it, you can't unsee it. It'll change your life. To comprehend or to understand why you behave the way that you do. You're no longer walking through the world talking about, man, they did this to me. Man, they hurt me. You're not walking through the world like that anymore. You're walking through the world with the knowing as to, oh, snap. I put myself in that position because of ... dot. Good morning, handsome. He is so, like, it vibrates throughout my whole being. You guys only get us a taste. But to be in the same space as it is absolutely brilliant. So today, comprehend, which is to understand on a deeper level, what it means to be aware. To be aware is not some, ooh, hocus pocus. That's not what it is. It is to know and to understand why you do what you do. And think about how powerful that is, because now you're no longer stuck. You're no longer in a position to say, I don't know what's going on in my life. You're not stuck anymore. You listen, your eyes are wide open. Wide open. Your eyes are now wide open as to why you behave in that fashion. And when you see what it is, you can do now what with it? You can change your life. You can change the object, which is you, so that the mirror reflects your change. That is how powerful awareness is. To know that you don't have to judge anybody, to recognize when you're judging, and to understand why you're judging somebody. You're no longer walking in an autopilot. You now know when autopilot kicks in, because you're like, oh, because it's not anything in the shadow anymore. It's right front and center. That's why I'm trying to tell you the beauty of awareness is the power of awareness. You're no longer walking in the shadow of, what's the word I want to say, autopilot. You're not walking in the shadow of autopilot any longer. You can spot when you slide into autopilot, right? And you can spot when you're being deliberate. That's the power That is the power of awareness. To spot why you do it. And not only why you do it, you understand, you comprehend why. You can trace all the way back in that instant to the cause. And you say, oh, snap, I see. I see you. That's what you tell yourself. I see you. And when you say, I see you, now you know how to change. Now now you know how to change. See how powerful that is? Like, it makes sense when you say it walking with your eyes wide shut. Your eyes are open, but you can't see. I'm waiting for him. A little bit. Your eyes are wide open, but you can't see. You see it. Because when you ask yourself, man, why does this keep happening to me? You can see it. But the thing that's missing is that knowing as to why, the understanding, which is the who now, what? Awareness. That is exactly what is happening when you catch yourself saying, oh, why do I always do this? Why is it always happening to me? Why does everybody treat me this way? You can see it. But when the light of awareness is shone, then you understand why. You see, a lot of people don't want to understand why, or sometimes they struggle with understanding why because they think that's too much work. But that's the best part of existence. The understanding is that, oh, that's why that happens. Oh, I see. Ooh. It might seem mundane. It might seem like, oh, pff, you don't need to know. Yeah, you do. Because when you see and understand why, now you can say, well, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. You can say that because you understand why they behave the way they do. Whereas if you did not understand or comprehend, meaning you were unaware of why they do what they do, you would take offense. Oh my God, how dare you talk to me this way? You don't know me. Who do you think you are? And we get mad at them, right? And we argue with them because we're trying to justify something. But that light of awareness is something else. Oh, it is brilliant, that light of awareness, because it is powerful. And it gives you the power to do what? To change your life from its present trajectory. Right? I hear people talking about, oh, well, you got to learn how to transmute. You got to learn how to do alchemy. And I'm like, okay, those are just words, y'all. But what does it mean to transmute? Well, when that light of awareness turns on and you see why you do what you do and you recognize when you're on autopilot, well, now you're taking what used to cause you to stumble because you couldn't, quote unquote, see it, and you're using it in a completely different way now because you can see it. You're no longer running around being the doormat because now you recognize why you were the doormat, what mental attitude caused you to become the doormat, so that people felt the need to walk all over you. You see that now. You see the awareness of it. And you say, let me take that knowledge now. I see why I did it. I see exactly why I did it. And you change from a position of powerlessness to a position of power. You took what used to be painful, and through your awareness, through your knowing, through your understanding of why, you now became something else. But all you're doing is reusing what you already had. You're transmuting, changing from one form, from the form of unknowing to the form of knowing. Quote unquote, alchemy. Transmuting your noscience, not your ignorance, but your noscience, the not knowing. Ignorance is you know, but you're just ignoring it. Ignorance. Right? You're just taking what you did not know, and now you know it, and you now become something else. The knowledge transformed you from a place of not knowing, a place of unawareness, to a place of awareness. And now that awareness is going to permeate every area of your life. Every area. So you see the power that awareness has? It's not some fancy word people talk about. Oh my God. Blah, blah, blah. No. Awareness is simply the knowing and the understanding of said knowing. You go from a place of, I don't know why I do that, to a place of, oh snap, I'm doing it. I can see why. What? That's what I do. So awareness, the power of awareness changes us from a victim mentality to a powerful mentality of non-victimhood. Meaning you begin to recognize when you're walking in your victim mentality. You say, oh, I see what I'm doing here. Oh, look, I see you abandonment. Oh, I see you rejection hiding in the corner. I see you. Look at what you want me to do, because I didn't see you before, but I see you now. I see you. And you want me to act in this particular way, huh, rejection? But you know what? Since I see you, rejection, oh, I understand now why I please people so much. Because I don't want to be rejected. I see you. So then, thanks, rejection, for showing me what was on autopilot. The fear of rejection is what I walked in for so long. Well, what do I want to be then? I want to be accepted, but I accept the fact that I see what I've been doing. Why? Because acceptance within. Ow. So without. I accept the fact that rejection, you don't have power over me anymore because I can see you now. I can see you. You ever seen that cartoon? It was on the Pink Panther with the ant and the aardvark. The aardvark, oh, because aardvarks eat ants. He would always be lurking in the shadow. And the ant would say, I see you, aardvarky. And the aardvark would go, No, you don't. I see you, Erd Berkey. No, you don't. Listen, when you begin to see the autopilot, you say, "Ooh, I see you, anxiety. I see you." And you can give your anxiety a personality and say, and it'll say, "Oh, you do you?" And that's when you can say, "Gotcha. I see you. I see what I'm doing here on autopilot. I see why I'm acting a fool on autopilot." Now you start doing what? Using more of your awareness of yourself. Now you're not ruled from the shadows because the light of awareness, the what now? The light of awareness, the light of knowing, the light of comprehension, of understanding opens you up in such a way that when you see your autopilot lurking in the shadows like an aardvark, you can say, "I see you, aardvarky. I see you." And the moment you see it, you make it powerless. It no longer has power over you because now you know what to do to change. You know the step one. Who and what do I want to become? And you name it. Because you now know that when you decide who and what you want to become, you are the one setting down a new autopilot. Oh, listen, we're always going to be on autopilot because it is how we do things. It is our design. We're always going to be on autopilot. But the key is to be the one to set up the autopilot as opposed to follow what has been set up for you. Well, why is that, you ask? Well, if I program you to do what I want, I'll say it again. If I program you to do what I want, who has the power? The one who can see the outcome of the programming. But when you set the program, you set the program based on what? On step one, who and what you want to become. So then, where's the power? You know the outcome, and you are designing yourself in such a fashion. Right after that outcome, you know the outcome, you're in control. You are the power. The what now? Operant power, as Neville would say. But when you just follow blindly, because, and listen, we follow blindly because we are unaware. What is awareness again? To know, to understand. But when we follow the autopilot of someone else, we don't know. We can't see it. Shoot, we see it, but we can't. We see it because we know that we're doing it, but we don't understand why we're doing it. And that's the blind spot. But when you see now that you are the one that is supposed to set up your own autopilot, because we're going to be on autopilot whether we want to be or not. It is our design. It is called rhythm. It is called pattern. Can't escape it. But what you can do is set your own pattern. And you set your pattern based upon step one. Who or what do you want to become? You see the outcome. That's who you want to be. And then as you see the outcome, well, now you'll begin to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. You can clearly see what you are programming yourself to do. So that now, once you have finished setting the program, which means you can say, "Oh, shoot, I'm now doing that thing that I used to practice on autopilot. Ah, shoot, I see it. I see when I went from having to rehearse consciously every day to now what? Doing it on autopilot. I see it. Do you see how powerful that makes you now? Because you're the one who sees the outcome, the trajectory of your life, because you designed it that way. But when we follow the programming of something or someone else, we don't see because we don't know what their step one is. You can't see what they want you to become. And because you cannot see it, that makes you unaware. And because you are unaware, you follow the pattern, what? Blindly. Thereby only using 5% of your brain. Awareness lights up the other 95%. Anywho, anywho, I think that's what I needed to say today. Step one, know who and what it is that you want to become. Step two, well, begin to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. The thing that you want to become is going to show you itself through a particular action that you would be doing to confirm that, oh, how you know you made it? How do you know you made it? There's going to be something that shows you so you can say, oh, shoot, I made it through the rain. You know what I'm saying? It'll make you say, ooh, I made it through. That's that action. And when you catch it, you're like, yeah, that's my mood. That's the mood. That's the mental attitude I'm in. And then you'll begin to feel the thrill of it. And then you'll go through all of the scenarios, all that feeling evokes in you. And you say, yeah, feels good because you now know you have set it in motion. And every time you rehearse, every time you experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality, those in the Neville Goddard community, of you who would say, yeah, I was doing my SATs, my states akin to sleep. Your state akin to sleep is simply your what? Rehearsal, your experience in imagination. What you would be doing in reality. That is your SAT, your state akin to sleep. You put yourself in a kind of reverie, aka, what a day for a daydream, right? And you know, because you're aware now, you're not daydreaming as in you're unaware of what you're doing. You are quote unquote daydreaming because you are experiencing in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. You see, we always do it because that is our design. It is how we were designed. It is how we were designed. But you see, the thing is here, even though we know we have been designed, you, with your awareness, can now say, yes, I may have been designed, but what do I want to become? See that spark, the awareness, the light, the knowing of why you are, why you do, why you act the way you do. Now you can change the trajectory of your life. Not by outwardly being rebellious and pushing against the system. Heavens no. One does not force. One becomes aware. And when you become aware of what is happening beneath the surface of your life, aka seeing why you do what you do, understanding why you do what you do, well, then you can say, wait a minute, who do I want to become. And then you say who you want to become, and you see it in your mind's eye. And then you begin to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to become. Well, then that's when step 3 unfolds, the excitement, the thrill. Why? Because you know that you have now changed the trajectory of your life by simply and boldly stating who and what you want to become. And then everything unfolds from there without force. Through your rehearsal. Oh, yes. Through your rehearsal. You set down a new what? A new program. A new what? A new habit. A new what? A new rhythm. A new way to be. And you don't have to fret because you know the outcome. And because you know the outcome, you relax because you got peace of mind because you know that what I practice, I become. Anywho, I see fan base has been swirling all morning. I know. Hey, Yoda Green here in Twitter. Ow, it's good to see you. Sugar Visions. I should have known something funky was going on when you popped over here in YouTube. Mozinga, darling, I see you. The Better Man, I see you too. Who's on fan base this morning? Moon. My flow smiles. Surreal. Um, Michael, Ray, and my beautiful KZ. Listen, don't let me hold you up. Because I got to go check out my bread. I got some bread rising. So proofing. I'm making a loaf of bread. I'm trusting that it has proofed well. It needs between 6 and 12 hours. So if it has done what I wanted it to do, I will give it a cold ferment. I will mold it and shape it and put it into the fridge because I know the outcome. So that when I get home, it has aged beautifully in its fermentation process. Because you understand what fermentation is. Fermentation is the natural yeast feeding on the naturally occurring sugar. Thereby, you feed it, you get the byproduct, which is a lovely tang, a touch of sour, thus a natural carbonation that looks like air pockets in your bread. So if you were fermenting a liquid, it would be effervescent. When you pop it, it would go psh, naturally occurring. Know who and what you want to become. Begin to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. And then know that it is done. How do you know it's done? Because every time you rehearse, you are closer and closer to what? Setting down your new pathway. And you know that when you set down a pathway, you have to live by it. You know. So now you have become aware of what you are doing. And instead of running on 95% unconscious, you catch every unconscious thing and become conscious of it. I love you. I do. Let me get the chime. I don't want to get out of bed because I'm so comfortable in the bed. But you know, alas, it is that time. Or else he gonna start hollering at me again, talking about, feed me, Seymour. Let me get it. And when you hear the chime this morning, and today, right? Go through the day and pay attention for the cue that says, making the same choice, making the same mistake. Go through your day and catch it, because you'll know what the stepping stone is in your life. Yes. Oh, baby, nobody push baby in the corner. Well, come out of the corner, darling. Oh, kisses for your mommy. My baby. Right here is where you are. You get your face out the corner. Don't touch you. Is that what you said? Don't touch you. He's so cute. China chicken. Look at you. Sugar. Here, you can hop over here on this one too. Right like that, sugar, your highness. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. So you can just leave. 1. See, I just got to be a little bit more patient with this little whippersnapper. Anywho, I love you all. And remember to practice, practice, practice today. What did you become aware of? Ow. And I will see you all again right here on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter and Fanbase. Hello. 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. He said, have a good day. See, I speak chicken. Have a good day. That's what he says. Peace out, y'all.